Hi, welcome back to Wandering Magic. These are going to be your love messages for April 2026, and it's going to be for all the zodiacs. Everything will be time-stamped. We're going to start off with the collective message for everyone, and then we're going to start with Aries and work our way down. For layered messages, because these are many, maybe listen to your sun, moon, and rising, potentially your Venus, to see if there's any layered messages in there. But without further ado, let's get right into it. I do want to say one more thing though. I do have 3 piles here that I'm going to be pulling from, and some letters here to see if this connects, and the letters could be connected to you or the person that you are connected to or will be connected to. Each sign I'm going to go through single and coupled. So again, timestamps will be down. Just take a moment to listen up. So let's start out with our collective message. Oh boy, thank goodness gracious. All right, so collectively, we have a player, we have a narcissist, and we have the Page of Cups. Whoa. All right, so collectively, it seems like there's a lot of selfishness going on in general. But I think that selfishness doesn't have to be a negative thing all the time. You could be selfish and, give to yourself. You could just want to take control of certain situations, and I think that that's a beautiful thing. The player could be that you are scorned and are, on that path right now, whatever it looks like for you, or it could be that you recognize what a player was because you had, been there, done that already, but now you know your worth and you know what it is that you want. You've really taken this time to develop your wants, needs, pros and cons. And as a collective, because we know what we want, because we've dealt with narcissists and players, it sets us off on a good foot for the future. Let's start out with Aries. We have minor setback, relational abuse, and judgment. So, it seems like for single Aries, you might have had a couple failed dates. You just are not vibing. You're catching all the red flags, which is amazing. You seem to be getting advice from people that are kind of guiding you throughout this entire dating process. And you're really not taking just anybody that comes your way. You are really carefully, strategically picking your next partner. And if that means that you have to stay single longer, then so be it. For the ones that are connected, there are some struggles happening in your relationship. It seems to be that one is doing more than the other, and the other one is not liking that. You are being asked to ask for help in this situation, seek guidance in this situation, but really more importantly, talk to your partner and let them know what you're feeling, because it seems that any progress that is being made in the relationship, there's a 1 step forward and 2 steps back, and so you're starting over all the time, and it doesn't feel good, and it's not something that you want. It's not something that you're just you're more sad and leaning on pessimism than anything, and it just doesn't feel good at all. So I'm going to pull the letters next for Aries. And again, this could be you or the person to look out for, or your partner. We have MEI. So that could be someone M, like an Emily, or Amelia, Michael, Elise, Isla, or Isabel. It could be someone named May. Potentially someone of Asian descent as well. Okay. And that's for Aries. Taurus. Taurus singles, we have an ex involved, missing you, and the Queen of Wands. Well, Taurus, an ex is missing you. And it's really up to you if you want to go in that direction. What it looks like is lust. So it will then be an ex that turns into a situationship, unless you think it's going to be on the mend. But really, what I'm getting is you should just let it go and move on. You're thinking about each other. You know, you can't make this up. I mean, an ex involved and then missing you. I mean, what? But the Queen of Wands, she's very, she thinks with her sexual desires. And unless you want, again, a situationship, or it just doesn't seem like this is going to work if you try to pursue it, is what I'll say. Now, follow your own intuition. I'm just telling you what I see here. For Tauruses in a relationship, well, some of you are missing an ex, or like one has recently hit you up. It's one that you've had a strong sexual connection with, but I'm not really getting, if they haven't reached out to you, what I'm getting is you might be comparing your current partner with them. There's maybe some sexual incompatibility, or maybe some things that you need to talk about when it comes to bedroom time, because it just seems that, and when I say compare, I don't mean you're thinking about an old person and thinking about your current partner. I don't want it to come off quite that way, although it may resonate for some people exactly like that, and it is what it is. But what I'm really getting here is, it's kind of like you just saying, like, you know, this is good, but I remember when I really enjoyed this, and it seems like maybe throughout the evolution of your relationship that you've more conformed to what your partner likes, not really what you thoroughly enjoy. And I think this is more of a conversation that needs to be had with your sex life. Maybe you're not having enough of it. Maybe because you're not having enough of it lately, you're feeling a disconnect from them, which when it happened with a previous partner, it kind of wreaked havoc on the relationship, and it was the end. And so these may be the trauma wounds starting to resurface. So really having that open conversation with your partner regarding your sex life to make it healthy and happy again. All right, let's get your letters really quick, Taurus. We have GER. So that could be Gilbert, Gertrude, but it could be one of their initials, so GER, or just GE or RE. Again, take it how it resonates. I'm also getting something about a GED, even though there's no D here. It could be Roger, I'm also getting. Again, doesn't have to be, but Reggie, I also got RAG. So take it how it resonates, Taurus. Gemini. Gemini, we have watching and waiting, meditate, and the King of Swords. Wow. All right, singles. Someone is waiting in the wings for you. They feel very connected to you on a cognitive level. So you have a lot of things in common that you talk about. You have similar like ways that you think. They feel like you are the perfect choice, that you make sense when nothing else or no one makes sense. Like you make sense, and they're waiting for you. They're like waiting for a sign. They want to see, can I make my move? This could be you with the other person, by the way, just saying. But it just seems like this person is the right choice. What I want to say is follow your intuition with what it is that you need to do when it comes to expressing yourself, because there is an aspect of wanting to say what it is that's on your mind. I'm getting like this tingle in my throat for a throat chakra activation, wanting to say something. It's like you're waiting and watching, but you're not moving right now. With the King of Swords, you also want to take action, and that can look different for different people. For the ones that are in relationships, it seems as though you're looking for, I'm getting like two very distinct messages. This person either, this is what I'm gonna say. They bring you peace on a soul level, and they're very patient with you. They're very understanding with you, and that is what you feel like you need. For you, this being with this person, it makes sense. It's almost like I don't want to say that they complete you. I want to say that because they understand you, it feels good in the connection. Yeah. So with that being said, if you feel like there is some kind of disconnect between you two, it seems like there needs to be some soul work that needs to be done. That's deep. Soul work in the sense of you might be connected from a past life, and whatever happened in that past life may be the thing that's the problem in this one. And so that's what I'm going to say about that. This person brings you peace. The connection makes sense. They are very patient with you. And that's why you feel like this works. And that's a beautiful thing. Let's pull your letters. Oh, you got 4. All right, you got S, C, K, and R. See, sucker. They're a sucker for you, or you're a sucker for them. And then it could be someone with an S initial, C, K, R, all or both, or a combination with first, middle, and last, or just first or last name. Sarah. I keep touching the R. Ronnie or Robbie. Christina. Either one of those, or again, just focus on the initials. I don't really like giving a whole lot of names. Okay, next we have Cancer. Healing and progress, escape artists, and the Lovers. Wow. Okay. Cancer singles. You are still healing from a situation and a love connection that you felt so deeply connected to, and this person you felt connected with. It seems like it was ended because you knew you were going to get hurt, and so you were protecting yourself in the long run. It's taking you longer to find a connection because even though you feel connected with these lovers that you're encountering, they haven't quite been it. And yet everyone in the way is teaching you something bigger and better. So it's almost like your lovers just get better with time. But because you've been through what you've been through in love, it's why you had to disconnect from this situation. You had to go. And you said, you know what? I'm just gonna rip this Band-Aid off. I'm just gonna walk, and it's fine. Do not let this scorn you. Don't let this hurt you, and don't be afraid to love or be loved. Because there is a bigger connection, if you can believe it. There's a better connection that is even stronger than the one you just had. Now, for those of you in connections, it seems like with this person, you're learning to stay put. You're learning not to run away when things get hard. You're learning to really stick it out and not sabotage your relationship, maybe the way it was sabotaged before. The connection is very deep, and you healed when you met this person, but you continue to heal as your relationship grows, as it becomes bigger and better, and your connection grows stronger. It just brings you closer to this person, actually, because this person is teaching you, I just heard, how to love. They're teaching you what unconditional love is, and it is a beautiful thing. Let me get your letters for you, Cancer. I'm gonna reach down. This could be your initials, their initials, someone from the past that we were just talking about, etc. We have V, T, A, and O. So again, your initials, their initials, or a past person. So it could be like Terrence, Ophelia, Veronica, Abby, Adam. All right. We have Leo next, and that is assert yourself, Knight of Pentacles, and rewrite your story. So if you're single, Leo, you're being asked to really take this time to learn what it is that you want. Do things differently. Try not to do what you did before, and recognize the patterns so that the patterns don't try to trick you back into a connection that is less than you deserve. It seemed like you need to really not compromise this time and go with someone that you are more connected to, and they're different from you. And different from you, but also, so not your usual type, but also someone that is not like the previous people, because it seems like you've dating people, different faces, same energy. Leo connections. you're being asked to, there's something about maybe your finances at home that are not so hot. So addressing those spending habits with your partner, making sure that you're on the same page, doing things differently when it comes to your finances. Are you putting too much money in one aspect and overspending? Whatever that looks like for you. But not just about money. If the person works too much and they're not giving you their time, that's also a problem. And so you want to then assert yourself and say, look, I know that this has been going on this way, but I would like to see how we can fix things and do things that way. And so a conversation definitely needs to be had. For your letters, Leo, it could be letters for you, your partner, or if you're single, or it could be your past partner. Oh, wow, you got 5 letters. All right, you got D, C, M as in mom, A, and L. Okay, so it could be someone that goes by the name Cow. Again, doesn't have to be. I don't really like giving names. So sorry if you were listening to your other signs. I don't want to give names. I just want to give the letters, and we're gonna move on. We're gonna move on. Unless I really strongly feel it, I'm not gonna do it going forward. Okay, Virgo. We have money matters, baggage, and the world. Okay. So for Virgos that are single, right now it just seems like you're very content with where you are right now. You're focused more on your money. You're not worried about what other people are doing. You are trying to heal right now, let go of old baggage that's holding you down. You're still healing a little bit, but the healing is in progress. I mean, this looks like this person is glowing. But you just feel so fulfilled right now that it doesn't seem like love is even on your mind. And there's really no, not that there's no prospects, but there's no good prospects that you feel are worth it at the moment. They're just not worth your time. So for those in, and it could be because you got a new job and you are really just focusing on being the best that you can be in this role. I'll leave that there. For Virgo in connections, they're Virgo in connections. Okay, so it seems like you or your partner are having a bit of money troubles. Maybe you didn't realize how much debt that they had at one point, but now in this stage of the relationship, you're figuring that out. You're also one of you is not quite healed. It's not looking so hot. It seems like you thought that this person was the end all be all, but it just feels like there's a bit there's something, dare I say, there feels like there's something missing. Whatever's going on with the money matters, it's definitely affecting your relationship. And if you don't figure it out soon, it does seem like you're going to end up going your separate ways. Okay, Virgo, let me get your letters. It could be yours, your partner, or a past partner. Okay, you got 3 letters. We got M as in ma'am, H and E. Okay. Libra. Right? Yeah, Libra. You've got discovery period, finger pointing, and the magician. So, for single Libras, you're coming from a place where there was a lot of finger pointing. There was a lot of your partner kind of mirrored back to you. I'm also getting they were disrespectful for some of you. They didn't really take responsibility the way they probably should have. And right now, you're just kind of okay being single. And really, it doesn't mean that you're not dating. You're just okay with being single. You could have some people. I am getting that you are dating, which is totally fine. But just don't bring any of that baggage with you. The blessing of starting a new relationship is that you get to make it whatever you want to make it. You have the Magician here. You have now been given the tools to succeed in your next relationship. And that's a beautiful thing. You are so ready for the next step. But you're just, you're enjoying it. You're enjoying the journey because you know that this is taking you somewhere that ultimately is going to just feel really good. Now, for those in connections, I feel this is a little opposite if you heard the first part, where there's a lot of arguing. You're trying to, it seems like you're going through maybe each other's phones. There's a trust issue happening here. There's manipulation happening here. I don't like it. I don't like it. I think that you need to own up to whatever this is, or they need to own up to whatever is going on here. There needs to be a candid conversation. It does not look good. How it ends, it remains to be seen. I'm gonna say again with the Magician, it's up to you how you see it and what you want to do. But ultimately, it just, right now, it's a really cold period, unfortunately, that I'm getting for you. I'm gonna get your letters, Libra. We have 4 letters here. It could be your first, last, or middle initial of you or your partner. So we have X, L, N, and oh wow, you got 2 N's. Yeah, you got 2 N's. N, N, X, and L. All right, Scorpio. I'm all about you. All about you and the cheater story. What in the world? Leave it to a Scorpio. And the 7 of Cups, my goodness sake. All right. So for single Scorpios, we have, let me look at these all together. Okay. So if you're single, okay. It seems like you are healing, or you are healed from past situations, and you are ready for love. You just don't know where to find it. It's not quite coming to you as easy as you thought it seems. There are aspects of you that are healing and that have healed, and so you're just so ready. I do think someone has their eye on you. I do think that they are really into you. There's a period of trying to figure out what to do here. And I wonder if you're being very apprehensive about this person and the connection. But everything feels a little all over the place. And I want to remind you not to bring the baggage in from the past into the new connection. If you are connected in a relationship, it seems like you're not sure what to do because your partner is so into you, or vice versa. But there are parts that need to be healed from one or both of you. And that's why it's not working. Something about your partner is very triggering for you. And because of that trigger, that's where the problems then begin. Because you don't really, it seems like you're not really understanding it, but I'm also getting that either you or them, they know how to push your buttons. And that's also a problem. It seems like you've been here before, and that's the problem. There's definitely love in this connection, but there's old patterns, there's old things coming up, and it's a trigger for you. And it might have to do with something from your childhood or something from your past, because I'm getting like, there's a bed here, but I'm getting like a child's bed. That it could be resurfacing for you, and things just feel a little unsteady right now, Scorpio. All right, so let's grab your initials. It could be yours, your partner's, or if you're single, it could be a past person, based on, of course, the message we just read. We have W, Z, and J. Wow. Okay. Not very common letters there, Scorpio. Sagittarius. Defense mechanism, back together, and hermit. All right, Sag. So for you singles out there, it seems like you are in communication or will be in communication with an ex, and you're not telling anybody. You're having these conversations where you want to get back together. Things feel right, things feel good, and you're wondering, how am I going to tell the people in my life that I'm bringing this person back in? It seems like you're going to have to tell them, and you're going to be fighting for your relationship if you decide to get back together. This is layered, because it could be that you want this to work, but you've said so many maybe bad things about your partner that your friends and your family are just like, what do you mean? I thought you said this. And that's because you've said what you said, and now they're looking at the situation, how they're looking at it, but it doesn't matter. Because you feel like this is a good idea. Now, for those of you in connections, what I want to say here is, you may have been in a predicament where you either weren't sure you wanted to be with this person and now you do, or you temporarily broke up and got back together. And right now you are just fighting for your relationship because you know that it's worth fighting for. There's been a lot of conversations, soul searching, all the things that are happening to really bring this union back together. And it seems like it's just going to take effort on both ends. But if you want to make it work, then you can certainly make it work. For your letters, it could be your name, your partner's name, or a past person. We have letter Q, I, and O. Okay. Capricorn. Just for you, talking again, and the Hierophant. So if you're single, it seems like you're going to be getting a love message soon, a text, an email, probably not an email. And I don't think people are romantic enough to put things in a mailbox these days. Is chivalry dead? I don't know. But it seems that you're going to get some kind of love message coming soon. And this is going to be the next person that you're going to be with. The Hierophant is the card of marriage. That's, who's coming. And that's what you're looking for. It does seem like it's someone that you were with in the past, either an ex-partner or an ex-spouse, however you see that. But you are talking again, and conversations are being had. That's why you're probably getting a text, because they're telling you, I want you, or I want you back. Now, for those of you in connections, it seems like if you're not married, marriage is definitely on the table, because you want, like, you can't picture your life or yourself with someone else. But you are having those conversations of wanting to get married. You know, if, yeah, you're just wanting to get married. And so those conversations are being had, or they're being planned. You're planning to marry your partner. Now, if you're already married, you do love this person. But it seems like there was an open conversation that happened, and you are willing to give them a second chance. And it could be something that you talked about and maybe they didn't follow through with it. It doesn't necessarily mean that they had to cheat or anything like that. But it just seems like you're giving them another chance. There's a benefit of the doubt happening. And so I do see you actively trying and working to have a successful relationship. Your initials, Capricorn, could be yours, your partner's, or if you're single, a past partner, for the reading that we just had. And we have the letters S, T, and Q. All right, Aquarius, you have speak up, missed opportunity, and the Three of Pentacles in reverse. Oh boy. So you definitely had, if you're single, a missed opportunity with something. You're being asked that if you can try to rekindle this, speak up about it. Speak up, try to say what it is that you're feeling. Because if not, you're going to regret not saying something, even if you're not sure if they feel the same way, because there's something like, I think you're telling yourself that this will never work. This can't work. And you're talking yourself out of it. But my thing is, if you don't try, then you don't know where this is going to take you. It could take you to the end, whatever the end looks like for you. You take you all the way, is what I'm saying. And you could be missing out on that because I feel like you're telling yourself this is not going to work. Now, for those of you that are in connections for Aquarius, speak up about an aspect of your relationship that's not working. Something's not quite jiving. And you just need to have a conversation. And really, I think that when you talk about it, you'll realize how relieved you are that you brought it up. And your partner, I feel, is going to be relieved that you brought it up, because it was like, if you were feeling this way, why didn't you say so? And really, that's really a conversation. Speak up. You are an air sign. You are ruled by communication. So speak up, say what it is that you feel. And honestly, I feel like you can fix it. It's an easy fix. It feels like a very easy fix. And I just heard again, that's all you have to say. That's it. The initials I'm going to pull could be you or your partner. Hopefully they're not too loud because I am shuffling them in the bag. We have the letter N, the letter U, and the letter O. Okay, last but certainly not least, my Pisces. Okay, you have not being heard, the Emperor, and exclusive. So for those of you that are single, Pisces, you're not finding a partner that I just heard is man enough for me. Now, take that with a grain of salt if you're a guy listening, okay? Could be that she's not woman enough either, and you can, you know, however you define that, okay? But this person, these people, these encounters that you have are just not quite measuring up. It's like they almost come off like, I'm going to be this way. They come off very confident, very cool, very like, oh, you know, I'm going to be it for you. They talk a lot of shit is what I just heard again. They talk, it's very, how you say in English, machismo? Very manly, masculine, hyper masculine, I think is what I'm getting at. And it's like it's their way or the highway. And if they can't get their way, it's almost like I see a kid throwing a tantrum. Not that they throw a tantrum, but they're just not happy. They're not satisfied. But they talk a big game. The thing is, I feel like now you have grown into recognizing when this type of cheap love tries to enter your life. And now that, you know, I just heard, I'm the captain now. And you are the captain of your own ship. And so it doesn't matter what they say. You know what you want, and you want your next connection to be it. You want it to be the one that you are exclusive with them. You're married, if marriage is your thing. You just want long term. You're not here for a good time, you're here for a long time. And you want them to understand that. And you unfortunately haven't found that. Don't let this harden you. I want to say, don't let this be the thing that makes you cynical or down and out on love, just because you haven't found it yet and because you're running into these types of people. Stay put for your letters, but I'm gonna go really quickly into the Pisces in connections. You have to be careful with how you're delivering the messages that you're giving to your partner, because it's like when you're talking, they're putting earmuffs on, and they don't want to hear what you have to say. It's because it's the way that you're saying it. It's the delivery of it. I will say that you seem to be married at this point, or at least with a life partner long enough for what a marriage would be, if you're not married. But regardless, okay, for those of you that are not married, I'm getting a need to say this. You're telling your partner that you want to be married, but it's kind of coming off in a way that makes them not want to propose. So again, it just goes back to the careful of delivery. That wasn't for everyone. I feel like that was a specific message, but express how you feel. And that's the short of it. Express how you feel. If you want to get married, say it, let it go, drop it. If the person wants to also get married, give them time. Give them time to also feel the same way. They may want to get married, but they're trying to decide if they want to marry you, or give them time to buy a ring. Whatever the case is, just be patient. That's it. Doesn't just have to be about wanting to get married, but there's a message that you're trying to deliver, Pisces, and your partner's not hearing you because it's the way that you're saying it. Okay. The letters here could be you, your partner, or a past partner, or maybe even your future partner. I don't think I've been saying future partner for these, sorry. But here we go. We have K, Y, and E. All right. I did post monthly readings and 3-month readings, so check those out. Watch your sun, moon, and rising again if you're still listening for these, and layer the messages. I'll see you next time. Take care. Bye.